Okay, so I'm very excited about this video because I hope I keep it short. I will try. So this video is about how I'm figuring out what I want to do with my life. This is a question that as I'm getting older and I'm kind of moving through my degree more and I'm experiencing life, living alone and stuff, it's becoming more and more relevant and more scary to me because I really want, I've decided for myself, I'm dead set that I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to do something which I don't fundamentally believe is what I was meant to do. That much was a decision. That's just, I think, having a courage to make the decision. And don't get me wrong, I want to back out on that decision like every time I face adversity. Like every time something gets hard, I'm like, never mind. But that's a promise I've made to myself. I'm not going to live a life that I don't fundamentally believe I was meant to do. Okay. Now the problem with that is you have to figure out what it is you do want to do. So I've spent a lot of time thinking very deeply about how the hell do I figure out what I want to do with my life, And so the answer is kind of two-pronged. I think the answer for me to how to figure out what to do with my life is to explore. It's just to try a bunch of different shit. Like not to settle by just sitting in my room and thinking like, maybe I want to do this, maybe I'd like to do this. It's doing the things, right? And I have a video where I talk about the power of action over thought. So I'm just exploring. I'm going places, I'm doing stuff, I'm trying things. And when something sticks, I'm just like, okay. But then the question is, what does it mean for something to stick? Because it's one thing to enjoy something and another thing to be like, this is what I want to do. So here's the approach I've taken. And here's the most valuable resource I've found while doing this. And it's to pay attention to positive feedback loops. So what does that mean? What I've found is when I try different things, there's certain things that you suck at. Okay, probably don't want to do that. Right? There's two categories. There's things you enjoy and things you don't enjoy, and things you're good at and things you're not good at, right? So ideally, the thing you want to dedicate your life to is something you both enjoy and something you're good at, right? That's the ideal scenario. And what I found was, and I can't explain this, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's spiritual mumbo jumbo, maybe there's science behind it, I don't know. But here's what it is. When I do something that I enjoy and that I'm good at, there's an easy way to tell because I'm getting positive feedback loops. What that means is I do something and I'm rewarded for it. And that reward motivates me to want to do it more and more. And so that seems like nonsense, like that's obvious, right? But I don't think it is. Because so many of us, and me especially, I always thought that, if there's things you're good at, fantastic. You should then focus on getting better at the things you're bad at. And that's the mindset I adopted for years. And that's fine, except I'm not convinced it's the right approach anymore. I'm starting to think, why not double down on what you're good at and forget about the stuff you're bad at? Like, yes, maybe you need to improve it and stuff, but that's not what's important. When you talk about your life, when we're talking about the macro level of your life, why would you spend time trying to get better at things you're bad at? Because most likely you don't enjoy those things, right? Instead, it seems to make a lot more sense to me to dedicate my life to something I enjoy that I'm also good at. And the way to tell that is these positive feedback loops. So I'll tell you a story, right? I love acting. Acting is something I really enjoy. And when I act, when I was younger, I didn't get this and I brushed it off. But as I'm getting older, I'm like, maybe there's something to pay attention to. I remember after I did one show, I was on the transit and this woman started talking to me. And she didn't see the show or anything. We were just talking. And just at the end of it, she started saying all this super kind stuff about, my potential and where I could go in life. And I didn't know this lady. I just met her on transit. And it was weird Because it was at a time that I was very happy with the thing I was doing. I was receiving, credit for it and praise for it. But then there was this weird omen of this woman who I'd never met sitting on this train saying like, God bless you, you're going to go very far in your life. While I was doing the thing that I really enjoyed. To me, that's a positive feedback loop. That is, and this is where it gets spiritual, mind you, but I do believe it fundamentally. It's like the universe is coming together to tell me something. And it's providing me with this positive feedback loop to inspire me to continue doing that thing. And so I think it's a combination of emotional awareness as well as humbleness for me, right? Because I've realized I think it's really arrogant to be receiving praise for something or to be good at something and then brush it off like it's nothing. Like, no one has to say, let's put it like this, most people won't say nice shit to you, right? Most people won't say very nice things to you just out of the blue. So if they are, it seems to me that it makes sense to pay attention to that. And if that's happening, maybe it's a sign, maybe it is symbolic of what you should be doing. So for me, I'm trying very desperately to pay attention to positive feedback loops. And the emotional awareness of it is realizing when I'm happy, when things are going well for me, and then paying attention to what's happening in the world around me. Maybe it's the law of attraction. When you're happy and you're doing good work, things come back to you that are positive and good. And that's fine. But then that seems like the way forward to me. To take what's going on in the world around you, the universe's response to what you're doing, and pay attention to that. Because if you're doing something you don't want to do or something you suck at, the universe will tell you, right? Whether it's a boss telling you suck or whether it's the fact that you're miserable doing it, those are both feedback loops, because you create an action by doing the thing, and then the result, the consequence, is the feedback. And if the feedback loop is positive and you feel positive, then maybe that's a sign that that's what I should be doing, right? And so it seems to me that there is a incredible necessity to pay attention to positive feedback loops, because they are indicative of what you should be doing. Because you will be far more successful, and I'll be, far more happy doing something that I'm good at, as well as something that I enjoy. Because there's those things that you can be good at but not enjoy, and then the question is it worth doing? Right? And I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. But it seems to me, as far as I've figured out, that no. Because there's something really potent to be said about understanding that life is a long game. And it's made up entirely of your choices. So if you choose to settle, because really that's what it is, if you're good at something but you don't enjoy it, I think you're settling. And that's not to say you can be, it's more complex than that, I understand, but in a world of gray, sometimes you have to choose to see black and white so you can make decisions and you can move forward. And for me, I'm not sure that just because I'm good at something is a good enough reason in and of itself to do it. Because if I'm good at it but I don't enjoy it, life is long. And to go day in and day out doing something that you don't enjoy, I'm just not convinced anymore that that's worth it. Because maybe it's better to be less rich and happy than it is to be rich and unfulfilled. Again, that seems like an obvious choice, but if it was so obvious, I don't think... I just feel like a lot of people wouldn't choose to do that, and I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm watching that happen. I'm seeing more and more people settle. Or I'm realizing that people have settled, and it scares me. I don't see why that's necessary. So yeah, I'm just trying to pay attention to positive feedback loops, and I think it's a really important skill. Okay, I'm done for now.